and welcome to Autocar Professional. We are here in conversation with PTC India VP and Country Head, Mr. Upkar Saini. Thank you so much for joining us today. My first question to you is that there's a lot of new terms that have come in automotive industry. There's AI, there is automation and software. Now, how has that changed the complexity of development process?
Well, thank you for the opportunity, first of all. Indeed, a lot of jargons in the industry now, but the fundamentals are the same. Basically, the world is moving towards more cost-efficient products, more complex mechatronic kind of systems, and therefore the need to make sure that we create a solid data foundation where all the processes are working together in an integrated fashion is the key agenda today in any boardroom, in any organization, may it be an auto OEM or a supplier. So that fundamental shift from discrete processes to a more integrated approach is what is augmented by SDVs, AIs, and all the new terms that you're talking about.
You have joined recently, and Indian auto industry as a whole is going through a big transition. We were used to doing things in a certain way, but now because the world order has changed, world technology has changed, Indian companies are also rising up and changing with it. But how do you see, what opportunities do you see for PTC, and where can PTC plug a few gaps that there may be for in Indian automotive industry?
It's an interesting one because indeed a lot has been changing now and changing at a very fast pace. I think India today is an inflection point. It offers us tremendous opportunity as an organization, primarily because companies are fundamentally now shifting from a more discrete product development process to a more integrated approach where product data is no longer an engineering artifact. It's actually a tool for digital transformation, right? And that's where actually PTC comes into play, because we are talking about intelligent product lifecycle, which essentially has four key nuggets. We talk about creating a strong product data foundation. Then we stack it up with AI layered tech, where all this data can be accessed in a meaningful way at the right time and can be in the right hands. And all of this not only limited to engineering, but it actually crosses boundaries to manufacturing and eventually services. That's where I think we are uniquely positioned. And we are also doing all this by promoting organizational change management, because one of the biggest challenge is not adopting technology. It's more about the behavioral shift. And that's where organizations like ours can come into play and actually help organizations deploy this whole intelligent lifecycle in a more verticalized way, but also in a horizontal manner across the organization. So we see tremendous opportunity, and I think with manufacturing pegged to grow to the range of 25% for the overall GDP contribution, opportunity is enormous.
Do you see any unique challenges or unique opportunities in India?
There's a plenty of them, but if I have to pick a couple, I would say one of the biggest themes today in the boardroom is making sure that we have a cost-efficient product, but at a very faster pace. So if you compare with China, for instance, a typical OEM product development cycle is around 60 months, right, in India, as compared to a 36 months in China. That is one of the biggest challenges, right? Now, how can we really accelerate the whole process is where the toolkit that I'm talking about, the tech stack, comes into play from PTC. So there's a lot of opportunity around modernizing the whole workflow and the processes, making sure we have a shorter time to market, cost efficient, because India is looked upon as a benchmark when it comes to cost competitiveness. All of this can be embraced when you actually deploy a digital thread in a meaningful way.
And in your assessment, what are Indian OEMs prioritizing? Is it cost optimization, manufacturing agility, or as you said, time to market? What is it that they are focusing on?
So I would say definitely manufacturing agility, but also software integration. But to me, all of these have to come into play together, right? You cannot have silos of product development processes. So one thing that OEMs are really prioritizing is doing this behavioral shift where the whole organization works together and doesn't operate in silos for their respective pieces of the puzzle. And you talk about EV, you talk about software-defined vehicles. All of this is becoming a reality, right? And that's what has been the priority also for the OEMs and suppliers as well.
What is the conversation in the boardrooms? Is it focused on software integration? Is it because some of Indian players are also legacy players? Some are now entering, which are new. Like there are lots of startups. So, are there any differences between the two? And what are the boardroom conversations on this topic?
Again, a very interesting one, because if you look a few years back, the conversation is more around digitization, making sure you have all the data digitized. Today, we are talking a conversation which is more around digital transformation. So, bringing all these digitized pieces into one unified thread, that's the conversation. How an organization can take a leap forward and create their digital transformation framework for their organization is what the OEMs and the suppliers are discussing today. Tremendous cost pressures, margin pressures, and all of quality pressures, regulatories, all of that can be actually tackled only if we now start talking about a one unified environment, a unified data foundation. And that's where I think the conversations are heading. And for us, it's extremely exciting because that's where we are uniquely positioned to cater.
And how efficient are they at managing data? And because there is a lot of data, India is a data mine because just the sheer number of us. So now, how are they approaching data and managing sanctity of data, and then eventually using that data to benefit?
Again, data, and then again it comes to AI by design.
Yeah.
So AI is not seen today as more of a discrete tech stack. Organizations are looking for, first, they say garbage in, garbage out, right?
Yeah.
So if you have tons of data, but the data is not meaningful, the data is not integrated and aligned seamlessly across the design and manufacturing processes, even getting access to the data is of no good use, right? So the organizations are starting with streamlining and making sure that the data is absolutely in the shape, form, accessible across the organization as it's required, and then bringing in the AI elements which are embedded into the design processes, right? So this actually is helping them pick up the right data, surface the right data at the right time, at the right access level. So it's no more about data. Everyone is overwhelmed with data. It's more about how can we create unified, streamlined data, which actually can be leveraged by the organizations for developing a better product, a more cost-efficient product, increasing the production efficiencies of the organization, and even the organizational change. So all of this comes together, and that's where creating a foundational layer of a strong data foundation helps.
You know, you mentioned cost and how Indian companies are not known for having cost-optimized products. But now, when the world is changing rapidly, they have to retain that cost leadership and yet modernize at a very fast pace and also globalize. Till now, I think last year is the 1 year where we have seen exponential growth in export, but otherwise we have been mostly an inward-looking automobile industry. So now these are 3 points that they have to manage simultaneously. So how do you think that PTC can help in that?
I think there's a paradigm shift now, and you're right. India has been perceived in the past as more of a cost optimized,
Market.
But today we are talking about India seen as more of a center of excellence, if you will. We are talking about value engineering. We will take example of PTC itself. PTC has one of the largest R&D centers here in India, in Pune, right? Housing around 2,000 plus employees. So gone is the time where we were seeing a low cost, mass application, product development kind of a region. The whole game is now moving towards value and creating center of excellences and competitiveness. You see so many of these global offshore development centers now coming and investing in India heavily. You can name tons of them, Hyundais and Mercedes of the world. That is creating a good competitive landscape also for the local indigenous OEM players. And to me, that's going to only increase and accelerate with time. So tremendous opportunity, and no longer India is seen as a cost sensitive, but a cost-effective region, which is going to be setting the benchmark in the coming years for India and the OEM fraternity.
All right, I want to let you go, but one last question. What, according to you, are top 3 areas where PTC thinks that these are the challenges and PTC can provide solutions?
The first one, as I said, and I've been saying, is helping organizations create data foundations across domains. So moving from design, from concept to design to manufacturing to afterlife and services. Today, organizations operate in silo. Yeah. We are offering through this intelligent product lifecycle a tech stack which helps you integrate this data in a meaningful way and send it across much beyond engineering. So that's one play for us. AI, nothing is complete without AI today, but we have been doing AI in a more purposeful way. We are making sure that AI is acting only as a layer once we have data which is fully sanitized and integrated. And last but not the least, there's a lot of commitment to India. So you will see a lot of executive sponsorship coming our way in India to bring the message that the commitment from PTC to India is really solid. And I'm sure we are embarking on this journey together where we will accelerate our growth in India in a significant and sustained manner.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Saini, for taking time out and speaking to us. Thanks a lot.